What's up everybody, it's Lone Wolf here, and welcome back to my Cryptids of America series, where I go over the 50 most unique American cryptids and the states they represent. In this episode, we will be covering the cryptids of Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and Iowa. If you haven't seen episodes 1 through 5 yet, a link to the Cryptids of America playlists can be found in the description. I hope you enjoy the legends we will be going over tonight, and without any further delays, let's begin. One of the most well-known cases of extraterrestrial activity in the state of Mississippi is the legend of the Pascagoula River aliens. Also known as the Pascagoula Elephant Men, or Pascagoulans, these beings are described as 5-foot-tall humanoids with pale, wrinkled, elephant-like skin, lobster-like claws for hands, and either 1 or 2 large elephant-like feet. The creatures also have no necks, with their heads directly connected to their shoulders, and have no eyes, slits for mouths, and 3 carrot-shaped growths protruding from their heads, 1 in place of the nose, and 2 in place of the ears. The creatures are known to behave in a mechanical, robotic manner, which has caused some debate over whether they are organic beings or robots. The aliens are known from a single event that took place on October 11th, 1973, known today as the Pascagoula abduction. On that day, 2 shipyard workers named Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker were fishing off a pier in the Pascagoula River when they heard a strange whizzing sound coming from above them. When they looked up, they saw flashing blue lights before an oval-shaped object came into view. The object was about 8 feet in length and 8 feet in height, and it was hovering roughly 2 feet off the ground. A door on the craft then opened, and 3 of the creatures came out and seized the 2 men. Parker and Hickson reported floating through the air with the creatures to the craft, and that they were completely paralyzed the entire time. Once on board the ship, the beings began performing experiments on the 2 men. Hickson claimed that he was levitated a few feet above the floor and was looked over by a large mechanical eye shaped like a football, while Parker claimed he was taken into a room at the end of a long hallway and placed on a sloped table. Parker was apparently experimented on by a petite female being who injected him with needles and communicated with him telepathically. After about 20 minutes of being experimented on, both men were returned to the exact spot where they were taken. The men immediately went to the police and reported what they experienced. The police were originally skeptical, but when they recorded the 2 men talking alone without their knowledge, their stories were consistent and genuinely fearful, which helped to convince them. Over the years, Hickson and Parker's accounts of what happened remained consistent, and Parker in particular avoided any publicity regarding the encounter, making their story more believable in the eyes of many. Although the event in 1973 is the most well-known account of the Pascagoula River aliens, Parker and Hickson would go on to report other encounters with the creatures roughly 19 years later. Parker claimed to have been visited again by the petite female alien, who told him through telepathy that her people were peaceful, but were reluctant to get involved with humans because of their tendencies towards conflict. Although Hickson's and Parker's accounts of what happened are quite convincing in the eyes of many, some people are still skeptical of their story. Skeptics believe the men may have hallucinated or misinterpreted what happened due to stress or panic, that they may have dreamt the entire thing, or that their memories were greatly influenced by social pressures. However, this encounter has given Pascagoula a great deal of infamy, as well as a fun folkloric story to share. The aliens have been featured in trading card games and UFO books, and have even been mentioned in various podcasts and TV shows, such as Ancient Aliens, Unsolved Mysteries, and The X-Files. The aliens even directly inspired the android character from the 1977 movie Starship Invasions. Pascagoula also displays an official marker in honor of the 1973 event, which is quite rare for a UFO encounter. Additionally, the Pascagoula abduction is considered one of the most well-known cases of alien abduction in the world, and people continue to argue about its legitimacy to this day. The state of Louisiana is a well-known state in America, with the city of New Orleans being especially infamous for its multicultural history and supernatural folklore. But among the tales of ghosts, vampires, and voodoo practitioners that are told throughout the state, one of the more popular cryptid legends is that of the Rougarou. The Rougarou is often described as an upright humanoid figure with a wolf's head, glowing red eyes, razor-sharp claws, and a skeletal-looking body, representing its unending hunger and torment. While most accounts describe the beast as a man and wolf hybrid, the creature is also rumored to shapeshift into different animals. The creature is said to lurk in the swamps and bayous of Acadiana and Greater New Orleans. The legends of the Rougarou originated in medieval France, when parents would tell their children stories of the loup-garou, which is French for werewolf. Most of the stories talked about how the creature would punish those who went against social customs or religious rules, and were mostly used to scare children into behaving. These stories came to the Americas in the early 1600s, when French settlers founded the settlement of Acadie, now known as Nova Scotia. When Great Britain took over Acadie in the 1700s, any Acadians who refused to become British citizens were dubbed as outlaws, and sent to various British colonies in the Caribbean and along the North American East Coast. Most of the exiled Acadians managed to escape the British colonies, and some of them found new homes in southern Louisiana, with almost 4,000 Acadians having settled there by the early 1800s. Over time, the Acadians became the Cajuns as they adapted to their new home in Louisiana, and the loup-garou ultimately became the Rougarou. The legends of the creature have been adopted by other communities as well, including the Catholics, who would tell stories about shape-shifting beasts who attack people who don't practice Lent. In some stories, people who go against religious or social norms are not only stalked by the Rougarou, but have the potential of becoming a Rougarou themselves. Other stories say that people can become a Rougarou if they are bitten by one, or if they look into its glowing red eyes, similar to the traditional ways of becoming a werewolf. Although the Rougarou is more of a cautionary tale than an actual cryptid, various sightings of the creature have been reported over the years, with stories circulating especially among Cajun families. Stories have arisen of farmers losing livestock by mysterious, violent means, with some animals being completely drained of their blood upon discovery. People also reported seeing strange wolf-like tracks or scratches on trees on their property, or hearing blood-curdling howls at night that apparently sound too menacing to be a normal wolf or coyote. There have even been stories of people encountering the creature while driving on isolated roads deep in the woods or bayous, with some people claiming the beast stalked them. While these stories have helped to fuel the creature's infamy and spookiness, most of them are told among Cajun families around a campfire, and no conclusive proof of the Rougarou's existence has been found. While many native and religious residents of Louisiana, especially descendants of the original Acadian settlers, insist the Rougarou exists, many people today dismiss the creature as a simple fairy tale designed to scare people into doing as they're told, and subsequently debunk any sightings of the creature as a misidentified wolf or large dog. However, that hasn't stopped the Rougarou from becoming incredibly infamous in the area. The creature is often the theme of local festivals and parades throughout Louisiana, a prime example being the Rougarou Fest that is hosted every October. There is even a Rougarou-themed roller coaster located at the Cedar Point Amusement Park in Sandusky, Ohio. Semi-professional or minor league sports teams in Louisiana also use the Rougarou as a mascot, as it symbolizes strength and resilience. And of course, the legend of the Rougarou is an incredibly popular campfire story in Cajun folklore, and continues to be passed down through generations of families in Louisiana. The legend of the Fouke Monster, also known as the Southern Sasquatch, is one of the more infamous cryptid stories told in the state of Arkansas. It is described as a large humanoid, roughly 6 or 7 feet tall and weighing approximately 300 pounds, with long arms, 3 toes on each foot, glowing red eyes, and shaggy brown fur. It is rumored to be very aggressive, and there have even been some reports of the creature attacking people. The monster has mostly been sighted in the forests surrounding Fouke, Arkansas, specifically near Boggy Creek, which has given it the nickname of the Boggy Creek Monster. Reports of the creature began surfacing in 1946, specifically in the town of Jonesville. This led to the creature originally being called the Jonesville Monster, but the name was changed in the 1960s when the beast was spotted again near the town of Fouke. The creature has been spotted numerous times throughout the 1900s, with over 40 sightings being reported in 1997 alone. Other evidence of the creature has been discovered as well, including 3-toed footprints measuring roughly 17 inches long and 7 inches wide. But among the various sightings of the creature, perhaps the most well-known encounter occurred in 1971. On the night of May 1st, Bobby and Elizabeth Ford heard strange scratching sounds and detected a strange smell coming from outside their home. When they went to investigate, they saw a large, hairy figure through one of their windows. When the creature saw them, it tried reaching through the window screen at the couple, and was ultimately scared off by Bobby, along with his brother Dan, who was in the house at the time. The creature returned to the Fords' property shortly after midnight that night, and ended up throwing Bobby to the ground when he tried scaring it off again. Bobby was then admitted to the St. Michael Hospital in Texarkana with large gashes on his back. After reporters found out about the Fords' encounter, they went to their home to look for any evidence of the monster. Upon their searching, they found 3-toed footprints near the house, large scratch marks on the porch, and one of the windows was damaged. Like most ape-like cryptids, there's a lot of debate as to what the Fouke Monster might be. Bigfoot enthusiasts are adamant that the creature is a type of Sasquatch, with many believing it might be a descendant of Gigantopithecus, an extinct species of 9-foot-tall ape that lived in China roughly 300,000 years ago. The theory suggests that Gigantopithecus crossed over the Bering Land Bridge alongside humans, and their descendants are thriving in North America as Bigfoots. On the other hand, many skeptics believe that what people thought was the Fouke Monster was just a black bear, as even though black bears are quadrupeds, they are known to stand up on 2 feet if they choose. Black bears are also known to weigh up to 400 pounds, and some measure roughly 6 feet tall when upright. Skeptics also call some of the reported evidence of the Fouke Monster into question, saying that if the Fouke Monster was a type of large primate, their footprints would have 5 toes instead of 3. Despite the controversy, the Fouke Monster has remained an infamous creature in Arkansas, as well as a popular campfire story. The creature has made several appearances in cryptid-themed documentaries and TV shows, especially those specializing in Bigfoot legends, such as Finding Bigfoot. However, the creature's biggest claim to fame came in 1972, when the Legend of Boggy Creek movie was created. This documentary film, directed by Charles B. Pierce, was inspired by the Fords' encounter with the monster in 1971, and has generated several sequels and reboots in later years, including 1977's Return to Boggy Creek, and 1985's Boggy Creek 2, and the legend continues. Fouke in particular celebrates the monster in the form of merchandise, statues, and festivals. A prime example is Fouke's Monster Mart, which not only sells souvenirs in the monster's image, but also shows off a large wooden statue of the creature, a great photo opportunity for tourists. Despite the skepticism of the various reports, the Fouke Monster has remained a well-known cryptid in Arkansas, with people claiming to still see the creature in the woods to this day. The state of Missouri is another iconic state in America, with countless tourists visiting the city of St. Louis and its notorious arch every year. However, believers in the supernatural are attracted to Missouri for a different reason: the story of Momo. Momo, which is short for Missouri Monster, is described as a 6 or 7 foot tall Sasquatch-like creature, with shaggy black or brown hair, broad shoulders, a human-like shape, and a strong, unpleasant smell. Some reports of the creature also describe it as having a pumpkin-like head and large glowing eyes. The creature was originally spotted in 1971, when a group of picnickers saw it emerging from the nearby woods. When the picnickers fled to their car, the beast ate their food. In July of 1972, the creature was seen again outside the town of Louisiana, Missouri, when 3 young children saw it standing on the edge of the woods by their house. They claimed the creature emitted a foul smell and had a bloody, dead dog in its hand. For the next several weeks following the encounter, many reports of the Missouri Monster began to surface. People were claiming to see the creature all along the Mississippi River, as well as neighboring waterways, and reports included quick glimpses of a large black creature in the woods, seeing three-toed footprints in the dirt, and hearing blood-curdling screams or growls in the forest. Momo was also connected to cases of personal property getting mysteriously damaged, or local pets going missing or turning up dead, specifically cats and dogs. The creature became especially popular after one particular encounter, when a family claimed to have seen it peeking through their window one night. In another instance, a witness named Richard Allen Murray reported seeing the creature while driving down a wooded road neighboring a creek. Murray claimed to see something large moving in the woods, and when his car's headlights shone on the figure, he saw a large, upright beast covered in hair. When the creature noticed Murray, it ran off into the forest. Momo caused such a commotion, in fact, that at one point, a group of 20 people went out to kill the creature, but they never succeeded. As time passed, reports of Momo slowly tapered off before completely stopping. Similar to Arkansas's Fouke Monster, believers in Momo have often associated the creature with Bigfoot lore, while skeptics dismiss the claims as either bear sightings or downright hoaxes created by people looking for attention. At one point, the director of the Oklahoma City Zoo and Botanical Gardens, named Lawrence Curtis, examined some footprints of the creature that were sent to him, and ultimately determined the prints were fake. Despite this, many people in Missouri, especially in Louisiana, embrace the creature's legend as a popular spooky story. Louisiana has hosted multiple festivals and community events in honor of the creature, and has even used the monster as a local mascot. The Missouri Monster has also been featured in various paranormal documentaries and TV shows, including the documentary film titled The Legend of Momo, released in 1974. This film recounts the Momo sightings from 1972, featuring interviews with witnesses, reenactments of encounters, and overall Momo folklore. Even though the Missouri Monster is more of a local monster, the brief commotion it caused in the 70s has made it a popular folkloric creature in the state of Missouri. Among the different supernatural stories told in the state of Iowa, one of the more unique cases is that of the Van Meter Monster. The Van Meter Monster, also known as the Van Meter Visitor, is essentially described as a large pterosaur-like creature, with a large beak, bat-like wings, and a body roughly the same size as a human. The creature is also rumored to have a laser-like light on its forehead, which can apparently temporarily blind anyone who looks directly at it. Additionally, the creature is rumored to emit the horrific smell of rotting fish, which can be so strong that some people have fallen unconscious. The creature is mostly known from a series of events that took place in September of 1903 in the town of Van Meter, Iowa, which is how the creature got its name. The sightings officially began on September 18th, when a man named Griffith, who was working at a brick plant late at night, reported seeing a large bird-like creature sitting on a telephone pole. Griffith described the creature as having bat-like wings, a strange light or horn on its forehead, and a wingspan larger than any known bird. Following this encounter, several other people claimed to see the creature, either flying over homes and businesses or sitting on rooftops or telephone poles. Some people even tried shooting at the creature, but it apparently didn't react to the shots and flew away. As the days went by, the town became more and more paranoid of the creature. People were scared to be out in the open in fear of the creature attacking them, and schools and businesses refused to open. The local newspapers were publishing story after story about the creature as well, further adding to the paranoia. Eventually, a group of locals grew tired of living in fear and decided to do something about it. On September 21st, a group of armed townsmen went out searching for the creature, and soon found it leaving an abandoned coal mine outside of Van Meter. The men camped out by the mine, waiting for the monster to return. At about 5:45 a.m., the creature returned, along with another similar-looking animal. The men shot at both monsters, causing them to fly into the mine, and the men sealed the mine's entrance so the creatures couldn't get out again. Following this event, the creatures were never seen again. Since the uproar of 1903, many theories have been put forth to explain what happened. Believers in the supernatural think that the Van Meter monster might have been a type of pterosaur, while skeptics believe it was simply a misidentified bird. Explanations include great horned owls, which have wingspans up to 5 feet long, brown bats, which are incredibly elusive and known to surprise people, or great blue herons, which can stand up to 4 feet tall and have wingspans over 6 feet long. Other skeptics think the creature might have been a human in disguise, either committing a crime or pretending to be the monster to scare people, and that the strange light on its forehead might have been a headlamp. Other skeptics still think that the entire ordeal was fictional, merely a mixture of fear, exaggeration, and the darkness causing people to see things. However, the story of the creature has become rather popular in Iowa, though not as popular as cryptids like Bigfoot or the Chupacabra. Paranormal TV shows such as Monster Quest have covered the creature's story, which has helped to introduce it to a nationwide audience. The Van Meter monster has also been featured in supernatural books, podcasts, and YouTube channels, and is sometimes compared with other flying cryptids, such as Mothman or the Jersey Devil. In Iowa, the creature's story is celebrated with the annual Van Meter Visitor Festival, where guests can take part in costume contests and enjoy comics, artwork, and merchandise in the monster's image. The creature is celebrated in Van Meter through local branding and murals as well. Even though the Van Meter monster is another one of the lesser-known American cryptids, its story has remained mysterious and entertaining, and adds a bit of supernatural flair to the state of Iowa. What's up everybody? Lone Wolf here. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to tonight's video. In case anyone is interested, all of the various elements used in this video, including pictures, music, sound effects, and stories, will be linked in the description below. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, click the bell for notifications so you don't miss a new video. If anybody has any personal stories or story recommendations for me, or any advice to help improve the channel, there will be links to all of my social media platforms in the description. I'm mostly active on Twitter and on Instagram, but I also have an email, a Discord server, and a TikTok account that you can message me on as well. Until next time, stay spooky. And remember,
the hunt begins when the moon is full.